All right. So I'm Angel and I'm a 7. It's so funny because that came up again today. I was doing a coaching call. I have a business, a wellness business, and one of the girls on my team, she just hit her biggest month. We all just had our biggest month ever. And because it's wellness, that's what people want, right? So anyway, she was so excited, and excited for her. She's like, "You are my biggest cheerleader," and I was like, "I'm a 7." It makes sense. That's what we do. But I think it's so good to know what you are, like I said, so you can be a better leader. You can understand yourself better, and then you can help others, and that's what it's all about. So let's dig in, guys. First of all, tell me. Of course, I know 2 of you really well, but just so everybody knows everybody, tell me your name, where you're from, and what made you want to do this group. So we'll start with Brandy.
So I'm Brandy, and I'm in Franklin, Tennessee. And last summer, I went to training to be a certified holistic life coach. And one of the required readings was the Enneagram. So I have a different Enneagram book, but I downloaded the audio book, the one that we have in this group. So I feel like I can multitask now, right? Like instead of sitting there, I can be cooking and can listen to it. So I'm excited about that and hearing a little bit maybe different perspective from this other book. But I was a 9 last summer, and a 9 is the mediator. But after taking it again a couple of weeks ago, I'm now a 7, so it can change. But the first time that I did it, I was a 9-7-3. So with this one that we did, it only gave you 1, but with this book, it gave you had your top 3. So it's interesting that those were really close to each other, but now that they've switched.
Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, what about you, Bethany?
So I'm Bethany, and I'm friends with Cheryl.
Okay.
So that's how I got introduced to this group, and I'm very new to the Enneagram, so that's kind of what interested me most about joining this particular to read this book and in this group. So I'm excited to learn all about it. Cheryl talks very highly of it, so
yeah,
I'm excited to learn all about it.
That is so cool. Do you go to church with her?
I do. I'm in her small group, and I also go to her Zumba group.
Did I meet you when I went there, when Brandy and I went there?
No, I wasn't able to make it that night.
Okay. Well, very cool. We had a big crowd, and that's an awesome group. How fun. You're really blessed to have that. All right. So tell me, Amanda.
I know Bethany and Cheryl. I'm in their small group too.
Cool.
Yeah. So this is my first time really doing Enneagram because Cheryl speaks a lot about it, and Emily and another gal in our small group. So I figured, why not jump in now and figure it out?
Right. I know. I'm like you. I took the test and I found it fascinating. I just kind of read about my number, and then I started just seeing a little bit about other numbers. So I'm really new at this too. So I'm excited. And Cheryl's the one who shared it with me. Actually, it was Emily, her daughter-in-law. Is that the one in your group?
Yes.
Yeah.
Emily's amazing. And Brandy, you met Emily. Yeah, she is so precious. Yeah, she's got all kinds of good wisdom to be so young, especially. All right, Kelly, tell us about you. Kelly can't get her camera to work. She had to take it off for class.
I'm ready to throw the computer across the thing. I think that might be one of the traits when you, but I'm Kelly. I live in Franklin, so I know Brandy and Angel both, and we work together with our wellness stuff. But the Enneagram, I have a small business, and we've always done employee testing, and it's really interesting to learn your personality, but it's also good to know what other people are so you can learn how to work with them, interact with them. So I'm really interested in this, really to help me understand myself, but also to help understand my kids and grandkids and then the people I work with and how to make them succeed at what they're doing too.
Right. I love that. I know, I'm thinking about it with my husband too. Cheryl said, sorry, I'm running late. But it's her husband's birthday. So I figured if she doesn't show up, she's got a good excuse.
It's often not going out.
What's that? Yeah, I can't hear. I hate it. I cannot hear my right ear. So if I don't hear you, sorry. Okay, so pages 1 to 39. I thought we would just kind of look at that together if y'all have your book. And I highlighted some things. So I'll share what I highlighted, and then y'all can share what you highlighted as well. What jumped out to you the most? Let's see. I have on page 17, the first thing I wrote was to know one, it's in the middle of the page. To know oneself is above all to know what one lacks. It is to measure oneself against truth and not the other way around. The first product of self-knowledge is humility. I thought that was so good. It is kind of humbling because when you read, it's kind of fun to read all your good, positive attributes. But then
I had that whole thing. I highlighted that whole thing and underlined the whole thing you just read when I was
yes, that's so awesome. And then at the bottom of that page, I highlighted, and I gave it a heart. I don't even know what it says. Let's see. Just remember, it's only one tool to help you deepen your love for God and others. Brother Dave cautioned. And then he said, there are plenty of others. What's important is the more you and Ann grow in self-knowledge, the more you'll become aware of your need for God's grace. I underline that. We always need God's grace, right? Not to mention, you'll have more compassion for yourselves and other people. I thought that was so good. Did anybody else have anything to share before that?
Before that? I don't think I had anything before that.
Yeah, and then on page 18 and 19, at the bottom of 18, I put, may you recognize in your life the presence, power, and light of your soul. May you realize that you are never alone, that your soul in its brightness and belonging connects you intimately with the rhythm of the universe. May you have respect for your individuality and difference. May you realize that the shape of your soul is unique, that you have a special destiny here, and that behind the facade of your life, there is something beautiful and eternal happening. May you learn to see yourself with the same delight, pride, and expectation with which God sees you in every moment. I underline and starred that because I want, you know, when you're a parent, raise your hand if you're a parent. Kelly, I see your hand up. So you two girls aren't kids yet, right? Well, it's amazing because you just love your kids so much and you want them to see their value. Do you know what I'm talking about, Brandy? You just want them to see their value so much. And I feel like, you know, God wants us to see that as well. So, did anybody? There's Cheryl. You made it. I figured if it's Brent's birthday, you might not make it. And we were good with
I'm here. Katie.
Well, see, you brought two girls here tonight. So that's exciting.
These are my girls, my people.
Your people. I love it.
Yay.
We're just going through the introduction. But y'all, everybody knows Cheryl. Kelly, have you and Cheryl had a chance to really talk or meet?
I don't think so.
I
I've
don't
seen some of the calls and stuff, but
Okay. Well, Brandy knows Cheryl, of course. So Cheryl, I just had them tell us where they're from and your number, if you know it, and why you wanted to do this book. Why you wanted to read this book and do the book club. And you're the one that really started it, so.
Did, okay. I'm Cheryl Hayes. I live in Rockford, Illinois. Yay. And I'm a number 2. I'm a helper. Shocker. And I am obsessed with the Enneagram. I love it, love it, love it. I think the more we dig deeper and are self-aware, we can communicate better with others. We can understand each other. In our small group, these two are in my small group, and we things will pop up and we're like, oh yeah, because you're a whatever, you're a 6 or you're a, oh, okay. I mean, it's just like our lingo now. So it's very funny.
That's cool. So I'm excited to dig in it. Oh, and what I was going to say is when we get to your chapter, I want you to kind of be the leader of that chapter, if you can. Like Bethany 6, Amanda 5, Cheryl 2, Kelly and Brandy and I will be splitting it. We're all 7s.
I'm gonna go back and do the test again because it's been a while since I did it. So
Yeah, I've done 2 different tests and they both were 7, but one I had a couple of other things. When they tell you can be several. So
Well, I can do 9 because that's what I was last summer, was a 9.
okay, cool. We'll figure it out. Next week I think we do 8, right? And nobody's an 8.
My
Yeah.
husband is.
Next week is 8 and 9. He's an 8.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, I gotta
And
read
my
up.
oldest son.
I gotta read up on that. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, the protector. That's what the 8 is. Protector.
Oh, the
Yes.
protector. Well, that's awesome. That's cool. Well,
I wonder if that's like natural for like the men.
for men, that's what I was wondering.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking too.
Would be 8.
That's kind of cool. Well,
Yeah.
so Randy, do you want to lead next week? Because we're doing 8 and 9.
Sure.
Sure. Thank you. So we were just kind of going through and underlining some things that really spoke to us. We just got up to like page 19. Does anybody have anything else you want to add?
On
Up to page
18,
19?
on 18, I did mark up there at the very top, where it was saying sooner or later we must distinguish between what we are and what we are not and accept the fact that we are not what we would like to be. I thought that was just, eye-opening and good information.
Yes, I think that is so important, especially when you have your own business, because you can get in that comparison game, and all of us do, especially with social media. And when we were younger, we didn't have to fool with that. And now the younger kids, oh my gosh, you always want to have what they have. And there's a lady speaking tonight at 7:30. Her name's Wendy Campbell, and she's a leader in our company, and everybody's welcome to hear it. She's talking about, she quoted Esther 4:14, for such a time as this. You were created for such a time as this. Because you think, look at what my kids are having to go through, or what am I having to go through? What am I missing out on? Blah, blah, blah. But so I know she'll have a good message, but she's very out there. I mean, she's in her 70s, I think, and has more energy and just so everything is big. Yeah, she's so fun. And some people think, it's a little too much, whatever, a little too extreme, but that's who she is. And sometimes I feel like I'm a little like that too, because I'm so like, get so excited. And I've had people kind of judge me for that in a way. So then you think, oh, I need to tone it down. Oh, I need to be like, more quiet or whatever. But I think the more I'm learning about who I am, and this is going to help me even more, I'm just going to learn to be me, And what is that Dr. Seuss quote? The people who, what is that about care and matter? Something. Oh, I got to find that Dr. Seuss quote. I love him. He said something about the people who come into your life. If they care, they matter. If they don't care, they don't matter anyway, or something like that. You know what I mean? Because you're not created to make everybody like you. Everybody's not going to like you. That's just a lesson I've learned. Anybody else have anything to share? Bethany, are you looking up the quote?
Yeah.
I love it. Find it. Because I think everything he says is this wisdom. Everything you need to know, you learn in kindergarten, really. Except for the Enneagram. You're not old enough to get pulled into any direction, I guess. Yeah. So the next thing I had that I thought was cool, let's see. Well, I loved on page 24, under the 9 personality types, I underlined to cope and feel safe. And I'll just read that whole part. The Enneagram teaches that there are 9 different personality styles in the world. Sorry, I have a dog. One of which naturally gravitate toward and adopt in childhood to cope and feel safe. That's what we do. That's why we turn out like we do. Each type or number has a distinct way of seeing the world and an underlying motivation that powerfully influences how the type thinks, feels, and behaves. And then that little chart, I really sat and looked at that for a while. I love that thing. Cheryl's like, yeah, we're getting into it, aren't we? I love it. Yeah, type 1, the perfectionist. Type 2, the helper. You're always helping people, girl. Type 3, the performer. Type 4, the romantic. Is somebody a 4 in here? I thought I remember that. Okay. Type 5, the investigator. Who's that? Okay. I'm already forgetting what y'all are. You are. Okay.
Amanda, you are? Is that what she said?
She said
Yes.
earlier.
I think so. Yeah, I'm a 5.
Yeah, Amanda was 5. And
As of last night, you didn't know what you were. So this is all
No,
big
I
news.
didn't.
Okay, exciting.
And Bethany 6, a loyalist. You're
Yep.
the loyalist. And 7, the enthusiast. Yeah, we got 3 in here. Type 8, the challenger. Type 9, the peacemaker. Yeah, I love that too. But then it talks about the triads on page 27. That's when I started thinking, wow, this is so it. And if you look, let's see, where am I? Oh, the fear or head. Let's see, there's people driven by fear, by feelings, by anger. I love that. And the wings, when you look on page 28, this is the chart. I guess it's the same chart, is it? Because I remember looking at that chart. Yeah, I was looking on page 29 on that because that's when it starts really coming together. The wing numbers, I think I'm an 8 and 6, my wing numbers. I wrote that down. So that's kind of interesting. Well, I forgot what they are. I need to go back. The challenger, what is 6? The loyalist, so I've got some of that too. How about that? Anyway, the stress and security numbers. My security number was a 5. What was y'all? Did y'all write down your security number? It's when you take your number and the arrow goes to your number, whichever one that it goes to.
1 was mine, because I'm a 7, isn't 1?
Oh, I put at the top stress and security numbers 1, and then at this one your security number 5. Huh? I don't understand that.
Sure,
Okay, I'm gonna have to reread that apparently.
I know. I was reading.
Oh, I see. Hey, Emily, there's Lou. Hey, Lou. Oh, she is getting bigger.
Yes.
She's getting bigger. Oh my goodness. Emily, I think you inspired us. Book.
Enneagram. She's a 3.
She is. Oh, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? And I'm gonna hold my book.
Picture.
Yeah. Y'all know me. I'm sorry.
We're kind of like, oh, we got a glare, but.
Okay, hang on. Okay.
Angel loves pictures. So.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Yay! Look at her. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out now. Okay. It says, for example, 7s take on the positive qualities of 5 when they're feeling secure. That's the difference. So it depends on how you're feeling as to what qualities you go toward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got to read this over again.
Okay,
I
know. I
was so
should have read
confused.
it right before. I was so busy. Let's see. I'm just going to read it out loud. I'm going to read this part out loud on page 29. Your stress number is the number your personality moves toward when you're overtaxed, under fire, or in the paint aisle at Home Depot with an equivocating friend or partner. It's indicated by the arrow pointing away from your number on the Enneagram. So there's my number. The one pointing away from it would be a 1, right? So that's my stress number. For example, normally happy-go-lucky 7s move toward and take on the negative qualities of the 1, the perfectionist and stress. They become less easygoing and adopt more black and white thinking. I kind of get like that when I'm stressed out. It's like, okay, it's either this way or nothing. Yeah.
That fits me pretty good because when I get stressed out, I'm all happy and want to do all stuff, but when stuff don't go right, I'm all of a sudden like crazy woman.
Yeah. They can become less easygoing and adopt more black and white thinking. It's important for you to know the number that you go to in stress so that when you catch it activating, you can make better choices and take care of yourself. So everybody finds your number, and then where the arrow is going, whatever is going away from you, that is the one that you have to be aware of. What are you making that face for? I want to know. Bethany.
I'm just making the faces at Cheryl.
I'm missing this.
Okay, I made a face because I can't find my book. And so I was trying to get her to find mine for me.
You're making fun of your husband or something. I was like,
No. I can't find, I think I loaned out so many. I think I have bought this book 4 times. And so now I can't find it again. So
the helper's always giving everything away, right?
I have one coming. So by next week I will have it. And I have it on audio, but that doesn't help me right now. So
Yeah. Well, does anybody else know your stress number? Did y'all figure that out?
I think mine's a 4, if I'm remembering right.
Okay, what are you now? I forgot.
I'm a 2.
You're a 2.
Is an 8.
An 8, yeah.
Oh.
2. Go to 8. Okay, what I was trying to figure out was, I think that my husband might be a 1, right? I don't know what a 1 is. What is a 1? Type A?
Perfectionist.
Okay, a 1 type. Yeah, my husband's a 1. And so it's funny that I go to that when I'm stressed. And then what is a 5 again?
Investigator, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's like that too. He's an investigator too. Yeah, that is so cool. And that's what I was thinking about, how opposites attract and all that.
It's true. Okay, so 2 goes to an 8. Is that what you said?
Yes.
2 goes to an 8 is what it looks like.
So yeah, because my husband's an 8. Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, I never put that together.
I know. I
I'm
think
gonna make my husband take this test.
Do it. Yes.
Yeah, Wade hasn't actually taken it yet. I just kind of took it for him.
Yeah, just casually ask him questions.
Well, I just kind of know, you just kind of take the test.
Yeah.
But then did you want to share yours, Amanda?
Oh, mine goes to a 7.
Okay. So you like being around really crazy, excitable people. Or when you're stressed out, you go to that.
I guess, according to this, that's not what I normally draw towards.
Maybe you need comedy when you're stressed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Some people do cover up when they're feeling stressed with comedy,
Yeah, probably.
That makes sense. We'll trust the book. All right. All right.
Bethany.
Look at the next. Your security number indicates the type your personality moves toward and draws energy and resources from when you're feeling secure. That's your security number. Okay, mine was a 5. It is indicated by the arrow pointing toward your number on the Enneagram. So whatever number is pointing toward your number is your security number. That's what you go to when you're feeling happy. And that's what I love about my little nerd husband. That's what I was thinking. He is such a nerd. We got to wrap this up in a minute. But I've always loved that about him. I met him in college, and he was the smartest kid in the class. And we had a Chinese professor, and I could not understand a thing. So that's how we got to know each other. I was like, can you explain that? And I think that's what we do. We are drawn to those people. That's so cool. For example, 7s take on the positive qualities of 5 and they're feeling secure. That means they can let go of their need for excess and embrace the notion that less is more. I love that. That is so, I could just see that in my marriage big time. Does anybody else want to share?
So your security one is the one that's pointing toward your number?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then I would take on the 9.
Okay. What about you, Amanda?
Looks like I would take on an 8.
Okay.
So mine is a 5.
Yep.
And as I'm like reading the description of what the type 5 is, I'm like, where's my highlighter? Because this needs to be like my next relationship. Because the person
Gotta look for a smart man, maybe a Juice Plus doctor. We can go to a conference and I'll be scoping out. When I always loved putting people together. Isn't that weird? I don't know why. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I've always loved that. Okay. So discovering your deadly sin. I didn't underline anything in that. I guess I don't want to really do that.
It's not happy stuff. Let's move on.
Yeah, it talks about your childhood. On page 34, I know this is going to wrap up in a minute, and I've got another call I got to get on. But on page 34, there's one quality that trumps all, evident in virtually every great entrepreneur, manager, and leader. That quality is self-awareness. And I underline, know thyself. That's so important. And then on 36, the purpose of the Enneagram is to show us how can we release the paralyzing arthritic grip we've kept on old self-defeating ways of living, so we can open ourselves to experiencing more interior freedom and become our best selves. I underlined it so I can't read my writing. And then on the bottom of 36, I starred, keep in mind as you read these lists, however, that your number is not determined by what you do so much as by why you do it. I underlined all the part about motivation. Motivation is what matters. To find your number, ask yourself why you do the things you do. And she talks about like at age 20, that's where it starts. It will help you identify your type as if you read along, you think back to when you were like at age 20 rather than you are now. Even though your personality type never changes, it's never more fluid or clear than in early adulthood. Isn't that wild? That's my son. He's about to be 20. Mm-hmm. And then let's see. Look for the type that best describes who you are, not the type you'd like to think you are or have always wanted to be. If given my druthers, I don't even know what that word means. I'd like to be a charming, happy-go-lucky 7, like Stephen Colbert, but I'm a garden variety Bob Dylan. 4 minus the talent. Throughout the book, I give example. And he's a helper, so he wrote the book, right? That's what it took, yeah. So, I mean, there's just so many things I underlined here. And on page 38, near the bottom, it says the Enneagram should only be used to build others up and help them advance on their journey toward wholeness and God. I love that. And he also reminds us, and I put LOL up here at the top, have a sense of humor, be compassionate toward yourself and others. Sometimes you're more compassionate to other people than you are yourself. And I think you really have to learn to love yourself. Jesus said, love others as you love yourself. Take care of yourself. It's like the mama on the airplane, you know, put the mask on you before you put it on your children. And when you take care of yourself, you can better take care of others. Anyway, so that's everything I had. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to add?
I like that it said that we'll learn more about ourselves as we go through it. As we read more of the stuff, then we'll go through and be able to better identify what we are. So I was trying to, it's so exciting. Yes. I just love it. I love stuff like this.
I know, me too. So next week, Brandy's going to read or lead the 2 chapters. So y'all underline things you think are, you know, cool, you want to talk about, and we'll do that. Yeah. All right, guys, let me pray for us and then we'll go, okay? I've got a leadership call at 7, which I'm a little bit late, but they'll love that I was with my team and with other people, learning, growing, self-development. And then 7:30, we have a call with Wendy Campbell, and everybody's invited if you want to hear her. I love it. Lord, thank you so much for this book that's going to help us so that we can help others and help ourselves. and glorify you, God. That's what this is all about. So I just pray you help us on this journey together. Thank you for these ladies. Be with them this week. Help them have time to just learn and read and soak it in. We thank you for it all. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Amen, guys. Love y'all.
That's
Bye.
great.
I'll stop the recording now. Let's see. Stop. There we go.
Oops.